Hello, hello there, my crafty friends. It's Candy here from sweetstamper.com, and it is day 2 of my February week of Facebook Lives called Coffee with Candy. So I'm going to give it just a couple of seconds here to make sure I'm tracking. Yes, yay, I'm on Facebook. I'm in the right place. And I will see if anybody's going to join me live. So this is where we are. This is Coffee with Candy. So we are in 2026, February of 2026. And I decided on my way home from Hong Kong, which I spent 2 weeks there for Christmas with our son and his new wife. And on my way home, I was thinking about what I was going to be doing in the new year with you guys. And I decided to take my Coffee with Candy. It's been something, I've called it this, and I've done it at 2 o'clock here on Facebook from time to time. They're kind of like, you know, sporadically I would do 1, 2, 3, or 4 or more Coffee with Candy. Usually when I'm wanting to share something beyond what I can share on my my Thursday night stamping videos. Those I do every week. So what I decided to do is every month I'm doing a Monday through Friday for Coffee with Candy, and we are focusing on more seasonal projects preparing for the month ahead. So in March the 17th is St. Patrick's Day. So I thought, well, for March, preparing for March, Coffee with Candy February, I would feature St. Patrick's Day lucky themed projects. So that is where we are. And it's kind of coming together. I tend to do things rather organically, otherwise known as off the cuff. And so yesterday I shared this very fun technique with you. And I'm doing a little bit of a technique demonstration, kind of tool demonstration today. So this was my inspiration yesterday from a card I received from a dear friend of mine who's also part of my team and part of my church. Her name is Gail Shockey. She is an amazing stamper, and she sent me this card, and I love it. And it's this very unique technique called Eclipse. So yesterday, I had already done this version, and this is actually the same piece of paper. I just flipped it over. So this is my masculine version, a great guy's good luck card. You could do this for getting into a new job, for, you know, starting a challenge, moving, whatever. Of course, it's very gender neutral. You could give it to a man or a woman, but I do like that there's, you know, it has that masculine aspect where there's no frills or ruffles. No flowers. You could easily give this to a guy. I just flipped the paper over, literally, added 1 extra layer, and added this greeting, lucky to be friends. So today I'm going to do much the same. So these are the 2 stamp sets I'm featuring all week. Whoopsie. Reason to Celebrate and Good Luck. So this Good Luck, I love the pot of gold, all the cute things, but there's not a Happy St. Patrick's Day in here, which is kind of interesting. This is all greetings. So what I'm going to do, kind of what I did yesterday, in the sense that here is the card I started with. So I made this card using both stamp sets because I'm featuring pots of gold today. So the Happy St. Patrick's Day came from Reason to Celebrate. The pot of gold, got a little bit of piece of thread there. The pot of gold came from Good Luck. So I'm going to take the same elements and we're going to change it up a little bit, and we're going to do the same layout, but we're going to do a different card. So I did want to show you that, just like yesterday, I'm just kind of going through paper that I have, and I'm finding some that have greens and just various green backgrounds. So this is the Hobby Haven Designer Series paper, and I am keying off on that paper, which has, I've got an extra piece here, which has a garden green. So that's kind of where I'm deriving that. Now, I am putting it on a Granny Apple Green card base to kind of brighten it up. So Garden Green is a terrific basic green, kind of a classic green. But sometimes it needs if you do too much Garden Green, in my experience, it can get a little bit dull. So here I'm going to go like so. And then I am also going to put my pot of gold here, but we're going to do something a little bit different. So this is for my inside panel. And this time, instead of a St. Patrick's Day, I'm going to, let's see if my little circle is floating around here. I wanted to do a Your Gold. So really just kind of showing somebody what I think about them, telling them that, you know what, you're pretty amazing. You are pretty amazing. Of course, my little circle, I have a little daffodil, darling duckling. We might do things different. We'll see how we go. Okay, that just kind of answered that for me. Although I can't find the white either. Come on, Candy. Get it together, girl. I still have workmen in my house. We are over 2 weeks into this slab leak, and they keep finding more leaks. So my house is a little upside down. Okay, so what I wanted to start with before we get into the greeting, I was going to do the greeting, but I can't find my circle, so we will circle back to that, as it were. We are going to do our pot of gold right here with this little guy. So this, as you know, or you may not know, this is the new Stampin Positioner tool. It is phenomenal. It has many, many uses. What I'm going to use it for today is I'm going to line this little piece from Everyday Arches. I'm going to grab it with my magnets, and I want to stamp this pot of gold. Now, this little guy, you know, anytime you're stamping something where you're using a tuxedo black ink, it's a great ink, but yeah, getting enough of it when you have, you know, a really heavy image like this, it's a little tricky, to say the least. So what I'm going to do, move some of these tools out of the way, is I've got it positioned where I want it. So now I'm going to come in here, and I always know the Stampin' Up! Symbol is facing down, and I apologize about the ring light glare. Let me just turn this off for a minute and see if I can, let's see if we can minimize that. Oh yeah, so we get a little shadow, but it might be better than the glare. Okay, so that is stuck on to where I want it to be, okay? Now I'm going to flip this over, and I am going to, you can see my lighting is, usually I'm on during the evening, but my husband's at the doctor this morning, so I needed to have the phone on. Now I'm a little too over to the right now that I see it, but it'll be okay. And the other thing is, when you're doing this, I find that sometimes it clings to the paper. If you'll just let it settle for a couple of seconds, it typically will release. Now you see how my black has not come through as much as I want it to. So I'm going to go in, and I am going to ink it up again and stamp right on top to get that really saturated black ink. And I've done this with this pot of gold. I've done this I've done it like 2 times. I've done it 3 times. But you see, because of my Stampin' Positioner, which you can get free. This is a $49 tool. You can get it free this month when you join my team. You can just go to sweetstamper.com, and you'll see the Join the Fun tab. Now look at that. I mean, it's nice and crisp now. So I'm going to just put this aside, grab that, and see if I can locate my other card pieces. I'm probably gonna have to go to I think it's messing up my signal. Okay, I can't go in. Okay, we're just gonna go with it. I can't go in and change it now. I did end up with a little bit of overhang, and I'm not totally sure why. But I think once I get everything else in place on the card, it's gonna be okay. So let's go ahead and put all of these elements down. And then we're going to figure out a different greeting. I want to put the Your Gold. Let me turn my light back on. Ah, just found my circle. Good thing I leaned over there to find my, there's the circle I was looking for. A Darling Duckling circle. So here is the Hobby Haven designer paper. Now, for Coffee with Candy, whatever projects I create on camera, I send you the PDF tutorial for free when you are a subscriber. So make sure that you are a subscriber to my email news. My sweet stamper news. Hey, Tasha, I'm glad you're here with me live, giving you a little bit of creativity in the middle of your workday. So Coffee with Candy, sometimes you might have this time of day when you might be taking a break, or maybe you're just kind of looking at the computer while you're working on something else. Now, this ribbon was actually on back order for a while. It's actually part of the Hobby Haven paper suite. So it is the garden green and white. I think they call it chevron. Yeah, chevron ribbon. So I do like it. I tend to like a thin ribbon like this. Ties nicely, and I just felt like because of the construct of this card, that a little bit of a bow might be just the ticket I was looking for to just kind of soften it a little bit. So we have the exact same layout we had the first time. I haven't put my gold in yet. So I'm going to come back and stamp the gold. And if you're coming in later, this is day 2 of Coffee with Candy February. So each month I come to you with Monday through Friday short, quick videos to give you some fun seasonal projects for the month ahead. Okay, this is going to go right over here, and we need to put the gold in. So what we're going to do, I'm going to use Darling Duckling. I like Darling Duckling when you're hey Velma, it's so good to see you here. When you're doing something with the greens, particularly the more yellowy greens like this, Darling Duckling has that little bit of a greenish cast to it. So I quite like it. Now, there's also this little guy here. So if you want to extend your sparkle from the pot of gold, you can do that. And then what I'm going to do after that is I'm going to go ahead and put it down here with dimensionals. I'm going to add some sequins. So this is my St. Patrick's Day. Now I'm going to do the same card, but a little bit different. So let me add some dimensionals. Pop that up before we add the sequins. The sequins will end up being our embellishment, because they have a lot of sparkle and shine. So you don't really, in my experience, when you're using sequins, you don't want to add another embellishment on top of that. It's a little bit too much. So that is going to go like so. Let's kind of bring it up a little bit. And I want to put the sequins on after, kind of last, because they're going to need to dry. I'm going to put them on with liquid glue, and I need them to dry a little bit. So I want to put them on last so that I don't end up knocking them out of place. Now I will go ahead and trim these ribbon tails. And this, we are going to stamp the greeting, and it's for this one right here. So instead of St. Patrick's Day, instead of Happy St. Patrick's Day, this is what I'm going to share with my person, your gold. I like it a lot. I'm going to put one dimensional over here and a bit of glue back here. And let's see, here we go, there. Like so. Now, if I want that to be positioned a little bit stronger, like really stay in place, what I find is that I can take a mini glue dot and put it right underneath the center, and that allows me to pull that center, and that is going to help secure my ribbon so that it stays where I want it to stay. Now I can also come in and put another one under here so that now it's not going to flop around. It's going to be right where I want it to be. So here's my original. So I like that. I have two different uses for this. Now I do want to come in and add a little bit of green to this shamrock because I don't really want it just hanging out there. White shamrock doesn't make a lot of sense. Now we don't have garden green blends. So this is Granny Apple Green, picking up light Granny Apple Green, picking up the Granny Apple Green back here. Hey, Kathy, thank you. I'm glad you like my cards. Really just the same design, two different ways. Now I am going to bring in this liquid glue, and now I'm going to bring some of these gold sequins. Now these are current sequins, but of course you may have sequins just sitting around in your craft space. I'm going to go right there to kind of, I'm going to try to, I've got some kind of splodges there, so I'm going to see if I can cover them up. Now, here they are. And you definitely want a pick tool with these because, yeah, they're going to end up going everywhere if you don't. And I already have my glue down here, so now I can just add these like so. And they're various sizes, so if you kind of do a little variety with them, then you will be able to use not only the different sizes, but it looks better when you have the variation. Now let's go up here to the top because I've got kind of it's a little bit, got more putty, a little more white space than I want for this particular card. Maybe because my original didn't have that, so now it looks kind of funky to me. If my original looked different, I might, oh, I like that. I think it's good. Now, on my original, I have just some shamrocks inside. So on this one, because it has such a different greeting, let me pop these in here so I don't lose them. And of course, you might think, well, why do you have so many sequins? Why does Stampin' Up! Do that? Because sequins are largely used for shaker cards. So that's why there's so many. But I am going to, because this one is your gold, inside I'm going to put congratulations. This would be a great card for somebody in your office, for maybe you have somebody, one of the kids in your neighborhood, or one of your grandchildren that's excelling at sports. or maybe they came in second place or fifth place. And they need to know, you know what, you're still gold. So I think this little congratulations is really a great thing to do. So let's just do like that. Now I'm going to come back in here, and isn't that a cute font? It's very casual, very modern, great for anybody, but especially I think our younger folks appreciate that kind of design. Now, just because I can, yeah, the gold sequins do make it pop. You're right, Velma. Now, just because I can, I'm going to bring this right down here and just add that cute little bit of gold down here at the bottom. Yeah, so, and I think Velma's very rightly pointing out that the gold sequins really make it pop. And I think especially because everything else on the card has a matte finish. So there's no Wink of Stella, there's no specialty cardstock. It's all kind of stamped ink and paper, but then you get that gold, those gold sequins, and they just pop. So same design, two ways. I can send a St. Patrick's Day card, which is just a fun excuse to send somebody a card. Of course, a lot of people celebrate St. Patrick's Day. He was an amazing man of God. So a great thing to celebrate. And then we have the same thing with your gold congratulations. And today I showed you how to use the Stampin' Positioner to create this black cauldron, black pot of gold, so that you get all of the, you get everything positioned, and you can stamp it several times to get it nice and dark. And of course, you can get that right now for free. It is a $49 tool. If you go to sweetstamper.com and click on Join the Fun, you can fill up your starter kit with $125 of anything you want. You can't go over even by $1. It will automatically add the Stampin' Positioner tool, and you only pay $99 plus tax. I will say we have a free shipping special coming up starting tomorrow. It's the 18th, 19th, and 20th. And I know I had a couple of people reach out to me and say, hey, I want to purchase the starter kit, but my wish list is bigger. And I was wondering, how, do you know when there might be a free shipping? Because then I would get my 20% demonstrator discount and I would get free shipping. Well, that was like last week. And of course, I was able to email them last night and say, hey, happy day. You want to join today so that your paperwork is all in, you have your demonstrator number, and then beginning tomorrow, you can load up and put all the things you're wanting extra beyond what you could put in your starter kit and get it with free shipping. So that is it for today. I will also remind you that if you have signed up as a demonstrator, we have a lot of new products coming out in March for online exclusives, and you will be able to add those to your starter kit. Also add them to any orders you place after that. This month you're in pre-order. I think regular ordering starts March the 3rd. So thank you so much for tuning in. You will get this tutorial and the video saved in my little link, my lucky link as it were. And that will go out to all my email subscribers. Make sure you are subscribed, and I will see you tomorrow at 2 o'clock for more Coffee with Candy. Thank you so much for tuning in. Take care, and God bless.